Hi, my name is Joe Cozart. I'm the Associate Director of Strategic Planning with Georgia Virtual School. We're a program of the State Department of Education, and I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about some research we're doing at the State Department to improve online learning in the state, and then also look at trends that we see coming for teachers as they get training in online education. First off, we want to look at what we do with our professional development. Our teachers have their evaluations 3 times a semester, and as they do those, we're able to put those inside of a teacher information system, and we can aggregate that data to see where are the strengths and where are the weaknesses in our program. Our rubric for our teachers has 9 different areas, and like I said, I can pull reports, as you see here, to look at the 9 different areas and where are my teachers? How are they in terms of meeting those expectations? I can then use that information and I can prescribe for individual teachers based on their evaluation where they need feedback, and I can look at the school-wide level and see as a whole where is it that my teachers need support. When we provide that support, we use EdModo, and there's a group for each of those areas where teachers can go to get live training and also just to see resources and post from other teachers, and they even have assignments where they can kind of get a chance to, in a consequence-free environment, get feedback on their teaching. In terms of student performance, we spend a lot of time looking at that. And what we want to do is just to ensure that our students are achieving at a high level. So we're constantly analyzing standardized test scores. In particular, our state has end of course tests, but also the AP exams and their national world language exams in Latin, Japanese, and Spanish that our students take. So we're constantly comparing our students to others in the state and others in the nation. When we see a discrepancy, when we see our students not performing at a level that we'd like them to, we use our analytics in our learning environment to see and better understand what are the issues. For example, this is a gradebook heat map. When you first look at it, you just see a huge slew of different colors and boxes and numbers. But what this has done is taken a look at our gradebook with dozens of students and dozens of assignments, and it's provided one single visual to let us know what's going on in the gradebook. The more red something is, the higher it is in the gradebook. Down to purple are zeros, and the gray boxes are missed assignments. And the other colors are just some range in between. And instead of sorting it chronologically, the analytics system is sorting this by the assignment students did the worst on the left side. And as we scroll to the right, overall, students are doing better and better on those assignments. To the far right, we see just a lot of red where students do very well. I can use that, and in particular, we of course want to focus on where students are struggling and try to address that. And we can see what the assignments are, and even if there's a trend, if there's entire units that need a lot of support. So when we see a problem unit or a problem assignment, we can go in and adjust our content and try to give our students better resources. And we may also see that just in terms of time, our students may need more time there. And we can let this information get passed on to the teacher so the teacher can know which areas to really focus their instruction on. Some other tools we get with our analytics, this is a decision tree. It's looking at the different tools our students use. And I'm not going to go in, just for the sake of time, to all the statistics here, but the short story of what we see, let me zoom in a little bit. I can break my student performance into a few different groups. Discussions in the top left, those who participated in discussions less than 5 times versus more than 5 times. This was across the board in all our courses last spring 2012. We saw a huge difference in student performance when they're in the discussion board more than 5 times. That made them statistically significantly much more likely to pass the course. But also, discussions show up a second time, and my breaking point is less than 20 or more than 20. So those who are in the discussion more than 5 times are much more likely to pass the course. But those who are in the discussion more than 20 times, we can see this node 11 where they end up, their mean is almost a 90 right there. So students who really get into the discussions and interact with other students, we see just hugely higher levels of success there. And then another thing we like to research is our questions in our question library. So we just go through. This is a report looking at how the most missed questions in a chemistry course that we have. And kind of like Amazon, customers who bought this also wanted to buy something else. We have this little item, top 5 questions answered incorrectly along with this. So students who struggled on this question also struggled on these other 5 questions. And that really lets us know, similar to the gradebook heat map, do we need to better fix our content? Maybe we need to fix the question, or just let our teachers be aware. So as our teachers go through teaching these courses, this research is really shedding light on how they can really perfect that craft and understand and anticipate student issues before the student issue even comes up. In the future, we think our analytics is going to evolve and it's going to get even more predictive. And we're going to be able to empower our teachers to know as soon as their students enroll which students are likely to struggle so that they can put interventions in place from day one. And we think that'll be a real game changer. But also we want to be able to integrate what we're doing to the statewide longitudinal data system, which is integrated with the Georgia's Race to the Top grant through the U.S. Department of Education. So this is a sample that I've just pulled up of that longitudinal data system. And our virtual school enrollments are going to get pulled into here. So students are going to be able to see, teachers are going to be able to see the background data for all of their students, which will include attendance, behavior issues, their performance on standardized exams, their grades, even in previous courses. And on any of those, they can compare them to the other students in the school, the district, or even the state. What'll be even more exciting, not only just to let a teacher know, as we said at the beginning, at day one, to anticipate student issues, but we're building into this system the ability for teachers to be able to prescribe resources. And that's going to be a huge help for our students. So under that model, a teacher's going to be able to go in and they're going to be able to not only, again, just see the problem, but they're going to be able to prescribe resources. So let me pull up a sample teacher and we'll take a look at that. Be just a moment. Let's back out to the main system. All right, and like we said, this is designed at the teacher level. This is sample data so that it's FERPA compliant. We're not compromising any student privacy. Here we go. There'll be a resources tab. And what teachers can do, they can search by grade, they can search by subject, they'll be able to search by standard. But for example, let's just take a look at third grade and see what's available in math. And we could search all those Georgia state standards, but let's just see what all is out there. It pulls up a list of resources already vetted at the state level, and if they want to assign this, maybe they've used this longitudinal data and analytics to identify which students are going to struggle on a topic, and they might decide to select a few of those and assign those topics to those particular students. And all of these, when you click on them, there's single sign-on. There's no type of password required or anything like that. Very user-friendly for the student. And if they go to Assign Resources, it's going to pull up their class. There's a list of sample students, and the teacher could just check exactly which students they want to assign that resource to. They click Assign Resources, it's done. So coming down the road, we see teachers, not only in the online environment, this system that we're showing here, this entire longitudinal data system, this is something rolled out to all Georgia public school teachers. So when we look in the area of teacher education, what we're seeing down the road, teachers, whether they are excited about online learning or not, we hope they all are, but regardless, these resources are going to be in the teacher's hands. And once these resources are assigned to students, they basically have a scaled down learning management system where they're able to view content and submit it back to the teacher. So all teachers in our state are going to need to be prepared to teach in this blended environment. All teachers are going to have access to digital resources that are already vetted and sorted and tagged to standards. And these same resources are also rolled into the online environment. As we're improving constantly with all the analytics we've seen, we're constantly improving our online resources. Those same resources get fed into this system, which is then rolled out across the state. And Georgia's not alone here. We see these longitudinal data systems and digital resources are coming out across the country. So whether you're an online teacher or a face-to-face teacher, you're going to need to be comfortable looking at this type of analytic and longitudinal data and knowing how to prescribe digital resources to specific students in your classes. So that's just a summary of what's going on at Georgia Virtual School at the State Department of Ed, and where we see online and blended learning going in the coming years. Very exciting times. So if you've not already, I encourage you to take a look and see what resources you have in your state and your school in particular.